So today we're going to look at a little chip shot, how to get the correct contact on the chip shot to give you the best opportunity to get that little bit of check or backspin. I'm going to talk you through all the things necessary to be successful at chipping or short pitches, and also to get that purchase on the golf ball. Now, depending on the situation, it depends if the ball would spin back or not. You know, today, for example, we're downwind and it's been hot and dry, so there's probably very little chance of the ball spinning back from this distance here. But certainly if we were into the wind or it was a bit softer, we would definitely be looking to get probably that one bounce and check, or even a little bit of spin back. But certainly I'm going to explain to you how to get that done every time. So the key things in generating good control on the golf ball is contact. And what we want to do is contact the ball fairly much down in the bottom of the club face. So if we look at the club here, probably the third groove is probably about ideal to hit the ball. Hitting it lower in the face, what happens then is, because of the center of gravity in the club, it creates a lower launch and more spin. Just like if you hit your driver low in the face, because of the center of gravity in the club, you'll create low launch and high spinning shots. It's the same with wedges. It also reduces what we call the smash factor, which is how fast the ball leaves the club. Now in doing so then, I'm going to have to swing faster to get the ball to go the same distance. And swinging faster generates more backspin. So we're looking to basically hit the ball low in the face with the maximum speed we can use to get the ball to go said distance. Now this is a 40-yard pitch shot to the flag. Obviously I'm not going to try and pitch the ball 40 yards because, as I said, I'm probably not going to get the ball to spin back on this particular green. The green is down below me and it's downwind. I've got a good lie for sure, and I've got a good ball, I've got a good club. And the club is clean, which is also important. So grooves really only act to take away moisture and dirt and grass to help make the contact create more friction. That's what grooves do. You can create pretty much the same amount of spin with a club with no grooves as you can with grooves, as long as you get nothing interfering with the strike. As regards to technique, what I'm looking for is a narrow stance. This helps promote a slightly steeper angle of attack. It also helps produce less speed and power. I know we talked earlier about increasing the power, but it's relative, okay? If I was hitting a 100-yard shot with this club, I'd want a wider stance. I'm hitting a 40-yard shot. So a narrow stance, the pressure preloaded onto my lead side about 60%, and it's going to pretty much feel, and I emphasize the word feel here, feel like it stays there. Now, the weight does move to the trail side, but the amount it moves is far, far less than it would do in a full shot. So that's why the emphasis is on feeling it staying on the lead side. In terms of the concept of the shot, I want you to think about your hands having a narrow arc. So if I showed you this, that would be a wide arc. I'm going to try and feel I've got a very narrow circle. Now, in order to achieve that narrow circle on the forward swings, I'm going to feel like my arms just slightly spread apart. And that allows the club to stay close to my body. Now, Seve used to talk about trying to put the club in your pocket. Now, the only way you can get the club in your pocket is if you spread those arms. And that was his kind of concept to get this move right. I also want to make sure we get the correct use of the torso. I want the right arm to stay quite tight to my right rib cage. So as I go through, the right arm's quite tight, but my arm's spread. Last couple of things I want to work on is basically trying to make sure that when we swing through, we feel like we scoop the ball a little bit. And that's the right hand work it under in our underarm throw position. This increases the loft. So increasing the loft helps increase the spin. Hitting it low in the face keeps us hitting that lower shot that we're looking for. We're also going to make sure that in order for us not to hit the ground, that we elevate. So elevate would be basically feeling that we extend up, we get a brush in the ground, but we're still hitting down on the ball. So we're controlling the radius of our swing. We're not letting our radius of our swing sit under the ground. We're keeping it on the level of the ground to get that contact point correct and to get everything working to give us those desired things we've already talked about. There's quite a lot of detail in there. What I want you to think about when you go and hit the ball is just try and feel it's a narrow circle, elevate, hold your finish position, and then see how you get on from there. Let's have a go at a shot. So, not bad. Let's have another one. So I felt I had the technique pretty good. A little bit short in power. Let's have another go. Try and see if I can give it a bit more speed. And what you should see there from the shots is they're coming out very, very low. I need to give it a bit more speed for sure. But in terms of the contact point and the flight, I was really, really happy with those. So this technique would be ideal for these soft little chips or pitches around the green where you don't want the ball to roll out too much. If we wanted the ball to roll out, we'd use a different technique, much longer, wider base to our swing, rather than this short, narrow radius I'm talking about today. So there you have it, all the detail to be successful at those short pitches, short chips, to get that ball popping in the air and then checking up with a tiny bit of release or even backspin, depending on the conditions, the golf ball and the club and so on, and the skill level also. But we're looking really to get, as I said to you earlier, if we look at it from a TrackMan point of view, the smash factor under 1, and we're looking to get the spin, if I'm hitting the 40-yard shot here, about 5,000 to 6,000 revs on it. And generally speaking, if I'm testing myself on TrackMan, those are the kind of numbers I produce with my good ones. I don't produce it every single time. I don't practice it enough to get there every single time, but I certainly do get those numbers when I hit a good shot.